Okay. What is up, everybody? This is Ray from Rated R Reviews, and first of all, I just wanted to say, for those of you supporting my podcast, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. It's called the Laid Back Chat. You can find it on Spotify, Public Radio Public. You can find it on Breaker. You can find it on Google Podcasts. Spotify and Google Podcasts are the main ones that carry it. Other podcasts networks aren't carrying it because I curse from time to time. That's just fucked up. Anyway, so Google Podcasts, Spotify, which is the two major ones. Also on Anchor, Breaker, and Radio Public. The Laid Back Chat. Please support it. Thank you so much. So let's get into this Game of Thrones season 8, episode 5 fiasco. Okay. So first of all, I want to say I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I've watched since season 1 all the way to season 3, and then I stopped watching because I kind of got tired of waiting every week and then waiting 6-7 months and then waiting every week and whatever. So I just let it go, completely forgot about the show until season 8. Everybody was all over, season 8 this year, finally, it's been going for 2 years. I'm like, it's been going for 2 years? Holy shit, where the hell have I been? Anyway, so I started binging from season 1 all over again. From season 1 all over again, all the way to the ending of season 7. I finished the last episode of season 7 the day that season 8 dropped the first episode. And I didn't want to review everything by episode. I wanted to review it by season. And well, so far this season, because I have all the other seasons fresh in my brain, this season is literally the worst season that Game of Thrones has released, but only from a writing perspective, like the decisions that are being made by certain characters. That's the only reason why I say it's the worst. It still looks fantastic. The acting is phenomenal by every single actor and actress in this damn show. Everybody is on par, on beat, regardless of the writing that they were given. Obviously, everybody knows George Martin, the original creator of the show, left to continue the books and do other stuff, but he never really continued the books because he wanted to see where the show, I guess, would go first or whatnot. But anyway, regardless of that, last night's episode was called The Bells. This is supposed to be the war, the last war after the War of Winterfell. And with the White Walkers and Arya and everything like that, which was an incredible episode, but some decisions that were made, there was like, okay. Great television though. Like, the worst of Game of Thrones is still like 1,000 times better than like 95% of the shows out there, maybe 99% of the shows out there, because I don't know what HBO is gonna do when the show's gone. Well, you still have the Western robots and the Western whatever. Anyway, so yeah, man, like, I enjoyed the episode. It was entertaining, but certain decisions, like my favorite character, Tyrion, come on now, you made him stupid. Like, is he in love with the queen? And I mean, I know he has a thing for her. I mean, she's beautiful and everything, but does he love her? And that made him stupid? Because I know when we all in that state of puppy love, we all make stupid decisions, do stupid things. But then again, the love for your brother should have gotten you out of that. Like, the one decision he made that was good was he freed his brother, because that to me seemed like, okay, now you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna free my brother and let him be, because he was captured. And wasn't he just captured out of nowhere? He was just captured. Like, I found your brother behind the lines. That's it? That there was no build up? Man, like, I was annoyed by that, but I let it go. Then the war started, and she finally destroyed those fucking ships, which I think she should have done the first time, but she was because she was freaking mad. She used the sun as a shield, and that's nice and everything, but man, you should have taken out those ships straight up the first time. The first time they shot your other baby dragon, you should have gone ballistic and killed them off right out the gate. Anyway, the whole thing I wanted to talk about, mainly about the episode, were certain decisions made. Okay, so the fact that the Hound and Arya traveled so much, so far to get to this point to kill Cersei and to deal with whatever the hell they had to deal with, and then all of a sudden, don't do this. You have to turn back because you don't want to be like me. I've lived my life in revenge. Mind you, great acting by the Hound. Great acting. But it didn't fit the original plan. It didn't fit the original bloodlust that Arya had to murder this freaking queen bitch. You know what I mean? Like this lady helped destroy your family. Her son had your father killed, and she's a bitch. She deserves to die. Anyway, then all of a sudden Arya says thank you and turns around and leaves. And obviously she has trouble leaving. We'll get into that a little bit later. But now I'm like, why did you leave? Then the Hound comes against him like 5 minutes later in a stairwell with his brother, the Mountain. And then they start duking out, which was awesome, by the way. Freaking loved it, right? Especially when his helmet came off. Especially when he gave that blood look, that look to Cersei, like, stand by my side, you have to protect me. And he's like, he looks at her like, come on now, the bitch is over. But the thing is that when they started fighting, I was like, cool. This is one fight that needed to happen, that I love the decision making here. But if Arya was with him at that moment and she walked by them, right there she would have stabbed her ass, murdered her, and then she could have left. Or helped kill the Mountain, which you can't really kill a zombie unless you decapitate it, but they didn't really know what zombies were at that point, and he wasn't a White Walker zombie, he was like a zombie, an official zombie, I guess, magic zombie, so we had to toss him to fire, which doesn't necessarily mean he's dead, you know what I mean, this is magic shit, so whatever. Anyway, I like that fight, I like the way that fight ended, if it ended, and anyway, I like that part. The part I truly hated, which I'm going to touch on right now, is the fact that Jaime Lannister came across the crying pregnant Cersei, and she's like, ooh, hoo, hoo, boo, hoo, boo, hoo, I don't want to die, not like this, I don't want to be, boo, 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 boo. And then all of a sudden, they try to get away, and the shit is collapsed, and all of a sudden they die because there's a cave-in. Now, they never show the bodies, so are they dead, are they alive, whatever. Technically, I'm going to take it as she's dead, so is Jaime. But for Jaime Lannister's arc, for him to go through all the bullshit he went through, for him to show that he finally got with someone else, and to still go back to his sister to try to save her because she's pregnant with his kid. I mean, I can, like, well, first of all, I know I can't understand it because brother and sister thing, I can't understand that part. But I can understand, you know, this person is carrying my child. I have to protect them. I love them, period. We've been together for so long, brother and sister. Minus the brother sister part. But it's crazy to me that his legacy ends like this. Whatever. And her, nah, come on. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit the way she died. I was like, no. I wanted, like, Tyrion to fucking kill her, or I wanted Daenerys to fight her hand on hand, or fucking pour gold over her, or have the dragon fire her. Actually, I didn't want the dragon to kill Cersei. I wanted somebody to get her straight up physically, and I didn't want it to be Arya. Arya's already carried the show enough. Okay, Arya's a wonderful character. She's carried the show enough. Okay, let it have been Sansa who got at her. But then again, her and Sansa really shouldn't hate each other because Cersei actually kind of looked after Sansa for a little bit because she knew her son was an asshole, but she was still a bitch, and she still did the grimy shit to her. It should have been Daenerys to actually get that revenge on Cersei, or Tyrion. One of those two characters should have gotten her and got her ass good and fucking slit her throat or some shit like that, or anything, something violent along those lines. But that didn't happen. That was the most disappointing part for me. Okay, now I know a lot of people had a big problem with Dany kind of losing it and going a little bit mad because she just started literally burning everything and everyone alive. Now, think about her history. That place, King's Landing, was originally built and developed by the Targaryens, which is her family bloodline. 300 years ago, they were built and developed by her bloodline. It was taken from her. The Mad King was killed by Jaime Lannister. So her father was murdered by Jaime Lannister. Then the Lannisters, or the Baratheons, took over, right? Should have been the Lannisters, but I guess the Baratheons, whatever. So then the Baratheons took over. This guy was a whoremonger, whatever, blah, blah. Pretty much destroyed everything that the Targaryens built and whatnot. And so there was already like an insane seed that ran in the family. The brother, when we met the brother, Daenerys' brother, I forget his freaking name now because he died in season 1, season 2, with the guy who got the gold actually poured over his head and he was murdered. And then she said, "Oh, I guess he wasn't the one to walk with dragons." That's your brother. I know he was an asshole, but that's your family. He died in front of you. You had no emotion whatsoever. You already have a little bit of the Lokai in you. Okay? So she was already nuts. Sexy. But fucking nuts. You know what I mean? So there you already started seeing all this, this craziness in her, that she came to power, she started to be nice, she tried to be whatever. She noticed whenever she was nice, people tried to take advantage of her, people put her down because she's a woman, and blah, 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 and she had to burn motherfuckers alive and kill a couple people and whatever to prove herself and everything. Free this, free that, free the slaves, free whatever. And then she's even said it earlier in the same episode, that I will show mercy to the future people, that they will not be in chains. The people that were already there were already Cersei's followers. I mean, yeah, they abandoned her and whatever, blah, 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 but you never know, right? So on top of all that shit, she considered the dragons her children. This bitch killed, or had one of them killed. She lost the other baby in the other war, which Cersei was supposed to help out, and she didn't help out. So she lost one in one war, one of her children in one war, and the other child in another war that she didn't officially know was going to start yet. And then on top of that, her right-hand man, her homegirl, her best friend, everything that helped the woman that helped her, was beheaded in front of her. Murdered. For what reason? Because Cersei wanted to show her power? To show that she wasn't scared of her? And man, fuck that. I was perfectly fine with her going crazy. When she heard those bells and she knew she won, she was like, you could tell in her mind, she was like, this was my kingdom. This my family built this. Like now you're gonna give up because you're fucking scared? Fuck you. Now, the people, the children, all this stuff, that was fucked up. I don't agree with that part. I believe the followers or whatever, hey, you know what? Get your shit together. You follow that bitch, get the fuck out. Goodbye. You know? Here's some extra food, here's some extra whatever for your children. There's a place 50, 60 miles that way. There you go. We'll get you there. We'll help you get you there. You're not going to be part of my King's Landing now. And then I originally thought she was going to go after Cersei in the fucking tower, destroy the castle, because it's already been diseased and infested. Cersei got her ass and got her ass banged out in pretty much every freaking room in that castle by her brother and by whoever else. So of course she's going to destroy the castle. It's disease infested with the Lannister crap bullshit. Understood that perfectly. Her burning people alive and shit like that, and on top of that, Arya almost died 2 or 3 times because of the fucking dragon. All right, the Mad Queen. If she is the Mad Queen, she took that Mad Queen thing pretty good. But if she continues to be the Mad Queen in the final episode, then you know Jon Snow should be the one to take over. Should be. Now, the only theory I can possibly give you guys that would make sense is, and you know, Jon Snow obviously didn't want this shit to happen either, even though Grey Worm and his fucking warriors decided to help murder people too. Don't know how the fuck that happened. but I guess they talked about it and planned it before. It's just, man, the writing for this season was pretty bad. They missed out on certain things. They made certain characters fall off, and to I guess try to rush it and everything. This really should have been. It really should have been a season 8 and a season 9. Season 8 should have been the whole thing with the White Walkers. Season 9 should have been the finale with the final. Maybe season 9 should have been 6 episodes, and that should have been just 6 episodes focused on who's gonna take the throne, and another 6 episodes just dealing with just the White Walkers or some shit like that. But it was rushed, made a lot of bad decisions with certain characters, and quite frankly, I do like the way they're going with Danny, because I told a friend of mine, no matter how strong your conviction, no matter how great and wonderful your heart is and where your heart is when you're trying to do something, it doesn't. It'll never beat your genetic code and emotional control. You know what I mean? If in your genetics you're meant to go crazy because it happened to several other people in your family, and it's a gene, unless there's some sort of medication or help, the things that happen are gonna snap. She lost 2 of her dragons, which she considers her children. They're attacking the third, trying to kill the third one. She's in love with Jon Snow, and Jon Snow doesn't really want to be with her because he found out they're related. On top of that, she found out they're related, and now he's the real bearer to the throne, not her. He's the true heir to the throne, not her. Then on top of that, or she would be second or third, really, because there's another Baratheon out there. He's now Lord of whatever. But no, she'd be second. Anyway, so and then on top of that, she told him, "Don't do this, don't do that. You get this by not doing this." And what happened? He told who he was to Sansa and whatever. Then on top of that, Tyrion found out. Tyrion told someone else, which led to the bald dude's death. The bald guy, I forget his name. I can't remember all the names, but he died because of that. So she already felt betrayed by one person. She felt betrayed by Tyrion. She felt betrayed by Jon Snow. She lost 2 of her children. The third one could possibly die next, because now she has to fight this war. She lost her best friend, her right hand girl. And on top of that, all the other shit she had to deal with. Other people looking at her, looking down on her like she's not the real queen and she's not the real this, she's not the real that. Sansa treating her like a bitch the whole freaking time. Of course she's gonna go nuts. You know what I mean? The only other thing that could have happened is that she's pregnant and she lost the baby for whatever reason. That really would have drove her nuts, because that then escalates the emotional levels in a female's body. And if that would have happened to her, I think that would have been a more justifiable cause of why she completely went nuts. But then realizing that everything her family built was being overused and saturated by the Lannister group, man, fuck that. That's why I believe her going nuts like that was justifiable for the show, not in real life. Good, I wanted to get that off my chest. The whole Cersei thing, the way she died, sucked. Hopefully she still walks out the rubble and she still has like an ounce of life in her, and freaking the Tyrion finds her and just holds her freaking thing down, kills her or something. Anyway, so yeah, guys, that's what I think. That's my review. I enjoyed the episode, but the writing sucks. The decision making for the characters is going awry, and quite frankly, I'm not really disappointed, but I in everything, but I am disappointed in how they killed off Cersei. Anyway, I'm ready for more reviews. Do me a favor, guys. Please check out the Laid Back podcast. Actually, I'm going to be putting up an episode tonight, the 13th. And, oh man, Cersei died on Mother's Day. She was pregnant. Ella estaba pregnant. Oh, shit. I don't know if that was planned or not, but whatever. Anyway, the Laid Back Chat podcast on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Please check it out. Please like, subscribe to Rated R Reviews. I'll be trying to put up at least 3 or 4 videos a month. I'm going to be focused more on the podcast and also a little business venture that I'm focusing on. So, yeah, hopefully you guys like this longer format video. If not, watch it in sections because I'm pretty much going to keep the longer video format for reviews and for spoilers and stuff like that. So I will drop another video next week, next Monday after the final episode of Game of Thrones, and hopefully that's like a 2-hour episode and they wrap everything up nicely. Excuse me, my smoke alarm is screaming every like 3 minutes or 2 minutes for no reason. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Ray from Radar Reviews. Also Ray from the Laid Back Chat. Please check it out. Peace.